Dallas Love Field.
Air travel may be back, but back to normal?
If we don't stand up, it's only going to get worse.
It is not. The FAA says it's never seen anything like this. Since the start of the year, there have been more than 3,000 reports of unruly behavior by passengers on planes. More than 500 of those escalated to the point where a federal investigation was needed. For some perspective, that's more cases than all of 2019, 18, 17, and 16 combined. And it's flight attendants, like this one on a Southwest flight, who often receive the brunt of the abuse.
Sit down, don't you dare!
Right now, there is a palpable fear for our flight attendants when they come to work.
Paul Hartshorn is a flight attendant for American Airlines as well as a union rep. He says most of the disruptions stem from passengers not wanting to comply with the federal mask mandate.
That's the number one disruption we're seeing now, and many of those mask compliance disruptions are exacerbated by the use of alcohol. Flight attendants are not making these rules. Unfortunately, they're the ones that at the end of the day have to enforce them.
Here, just coming in.
This month, the TSA offered self-defense training in Dallas for flight attendants. Meanwhile, the FAA has launched a campaign.
Fighting is not good when you're on a plane.
Using kids, along with memes on social media to try to get its message across of zero tolerance for bad behavior. The agency is also issuing serious fines on unruly passengers. A man on a Southwest plane at Love Field was recently hit with a $21,000 fine, plus criminal charges, after he threw a mask at a flight attendant, then punched a customer service supervisor.
I mean, I think folks who get into physical confrontations don't need to be doing that, obviously, and they need to be held accountable. But you can understand the frustration that normal passengers have.
Congresswoman Beth Van Dyne is one of several Republican lawmakers who support bills that would end the mask mandate on planes immediately. In May, the CDC said fully vaccinated Americans no longer needed to wear a mask indoors, with planes being one of the few exceptions.
I think, we need to follow the science. I think it's very confusing. I think it's very arbitrary, very frustrating for passengers when they can go to a restaurant right before they get to the airport, and all of a sudden now we have to put on our masks.
The federal mask mandate is set to expire on September 13th, but that doesn't necessarily mean that after September 13th, passengers won't have to wear a mask when they fly.
Well, I know for a fact that airlines are discussing what to do right now once this mask mandate is lifted. And there's a big back and forth between management and unions.
Matthew Clint, the author of the travel site Live and Let Fly, says he believes when the federal mandate ends, some airlines will no longer require masks, but some likely still will.
If each airline has a different policy, yes, there's the positive in that it creates different markets for different consumers. But the downside, of course, is that there's no sort of baseline expectation, and it could well lead to more conflict.
So while tensions are high now, hold on. The bumpy ride may be far from over. With the I-Team, Brian New, CBS 11 News.